Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jan for those of you who are new here, and for today's video, I decided to do a Filipino tag because this was the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best option I could do. I thought about doing a vlog about eating what I would have eaten in the Philippines, like kind of like a small at-home Philippines trip, even though we're not there. That's not a good idea right now because my sister and I are attempting to do this whole 30 diet thing or lifestyle. I figured that was out of the books because a lot of sugar and a lot of carbs, so maybe not that. So I decided to do this tag. It's a very old tag, but I've never actually seen it before or even knew of the questions. Apparently there are 2 additions to the tag. I have the questions just on my laptop on the side. I guess I'm going to answer the first batch of questions first and then the second edition. I don't know why is there a first and second. I don't know if like maybe over time people added more questions to the mix. I guess we'll just go straight into the video. So for the first question of the first edition, it's when was the last time you were in the Philippines? This is such an easy question because it's not like decades compared to some other people. August 2017, so it would have been 3 years ago, but it was mostly on my dad's side. Us going this year would have been on my mom's side. That was the last time 3 years ago, but I guess it's gonna be longer now because of this whole pandemic thing. The second question is name one Filipino dish. What? Name one Filipino dish you enjoy the most and why? I don't crave Filipino food a lot, but if it's there, I forget how good it is. I don't know if people would find this lame because, you know, there's so much dishes out there. And before I give my answer, I asked my sister just now before filming what hers was, and she said kare-kare. If you find this weird and you're Filipino, let me know, or if it's not common for people to love this dish or find it their favorite. But for me, it's sitaw kalabasa, but it's just string beans and squash. I prefer it without meat, and I also like it when the squash is like soft, so you could like and mix it into your rice so it gives more texture. I don't know, that's so good, but I really like it. That's my favorite dish. It's I think it's really weird because people would normally say like sinigang, adobo, pansit, lumpia, and it's just like sitaw kalabasa. So the third question is name 2 Filipino household items that best represent our culture. The first one would be a tabo, which is just, what do you even call it? What's an English for it? A bucket? No. So that, I guess a walis. Either a walis ting ting or I don't know what the other walis is called, but I'll put 2 of them. I guess those 2 items you see in like every Filipino household. So that was really easy. So the fourth question is, do you know how to speak in Tagalog? If so, say a phrase or 2. Marunong ko magsalita ng Tagalog pero nahihiya ako kasi hindi kami nagsasalita ng Tagalog sa bahay. English lang. So kapag nasalita yung mom ko ng Tagalog, parang it's so awkward. Oh my god, I can't! When I was in the Philippines 2 years ago, it did take a few days for my accent to go away. It felt very uncomfortable to say it. At home, we just speak English, but I don't really forget Tagalog. It's more like I just forget words here and there. Like I'll forget how to say spoon or cheese, like literally small things like that. And number 5 is which part of the Philippines are you from? Me personally, I grew up in Parañaque. Yeah, I would say there, but I mean I have relatives from all parts of like the Philippines. Like, you know, they're just everywhere. But I personally grew up in Parañaque, so is this entertaining? I don't know. Or is this like interesting? So we're on to the second edition and there's 9 questions. So the first one is, do you live in the Philippines? No, but I did live there for 4-ish years, give or take. Around that, I either lived in Hong Kong, and then since coming here from the Philippines in 2010, I'm living in Canada. So random, but I feel like sometimes when I'm filming this, it's like, excuse me, do we ask? Also, I had like a cup of coffee, so I'm very like... What is a stereotype about Filipinos? This is one of the most common ones that I've heard here in like North America, or at least here, is that all Filipinos are nurses, which are not true. It's just if you're Filipino and you're a nurse, you kind of like stand out to the stereotype more. What else? Oh, I remember, but this is not really but it's just Filipinos are always late. Like there's this like Filipino time that always occurs. So example, you say, hey, let's meet at 8, so technically people come at like 9 or 10, or they're just not on time, which is actually pretty true, and it frustrates me because being a Capricorn, I like being on time, and it stresses me if I'm late. Like it stresses me the hell out not being on time for anything. Even hanging out with friends, I like to be on time or at least 10 to 15 minutes early. That stereotype is true, and it's one that stressed me out throughout my entire life. Do you own a karaoke machine? I'm not sure. I feel like we have it somewhere in like, I feel like we do. Sing your favorite Filipino song. What is my favorite Filipino song? I do like Panalangin, but I think I'll just auto-tune this or voice modulate this part. Panalangin ko sa habang buhay, makapiling ka, makasama ka, yan ang panalangin ko. At hindi papayag ang pusong ito, mawala ka sa aking piling, mahal ko iyong lingkid. But I think I listen more to the Moonstar 88 version. Have you ever tried BALUT? Is it BALUT? BALUT? I don't remember if I've tried it. I'm not sure actually. I've tried the fried version. What even is it? Is it duck? I don't think so. I think I might have would have cried if I did try it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've tried it. And number six is, what is your least favorite thing about being a Filipino? It kind of reflects on traditional Asian culture as well. It's part of Philippine trait because it does exist. It is about like judging a person based on their physical appearance.
Hello, just popping in here last minute because I feel like I didn't explain it well while I was filming, but I just wanted to say that there is a video from one of my friends. Hi Erlyn, I don't know if you're watching, but hi. And she did a rant about redefining Filipino norms culture. I forget the title, but I will leave it in the description and put the screen cap so you kind of know what I'm talking about, because I feel like I was rambling on too long and I couldn't really find the right words to say cohesive. So
their intentions behind it were just to help better yourself. Something about like weight and physical appearances. I feel like we should just be loving and supportive of each other rather than just focusing on the physical appearances. Although in society, yes, there are certain preferences, I guess, in terms of the ideals and standards. I kind of discussed a little bit of this in my trying to adhere to Filipino beauty standards video. She went more of a rant and I love it. She explains it more there. Since this is a tag, I don't want to go into full details. On a positive note is, what's your favorite thing about being a Filipino and why? There's so many things, but the one thing that really stands out to me is how familial the culture is and very welcoming. Yeah, that's the best thing. It's very short because there's so many, but that's one thing that stands out. That was pretty easy and really short, but it's... Number 8 is, do you eat Goldilocks on a regular basis? In terms of like franchises, when I was younger especially, we didn't really eat a lot of them unless it was for a special occasion, like for a birthday or when you're bringing pasalubong back home. That's when you buy Goldilocks Red Ribbon. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot more local bakeries that make it more fresh, I guess, more homemade tasting. So I don't eat it on a regular basis, but I wouldn't mind. The last question is, are you inseparable from your family? There's two ways to kind of look at this in terms of like, are you stuck at home with them all the time? Yes. And even in the Philippines, like growing up, I lived with my cousins, like my mom's brother's family, and my grandparents, like my mom's parents. And so I'm used to living in a house with like 10-ish people. So I guess yes. So I just answered all the tag questions, and I'm so wired on coffee that I don't even know what I've said so far. I feel like I'm so all over the place. So I hope when you're watching this, it's more cohesive and put together. I am quite sad at the same time that we weren't able to go to the Philippines, because I felt like this was a time that I could have This was a time where I could have reconnected with my mom's side of the family and just catch up with them and spend longer time with them, because I would have been in the Philippines by now. Our flight would have been on April 30th. Plans changed. So that was it for today's video. It's pretty short and I don't know if you really care about the answers to these questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it entertaining. I'm not sure if it was substantial to your life and you could have lived without it. Maybe. I'll see you in my next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye! Also, after this, I'll be filming another K-pop choreo learn with me, or I learn a K-pop choreo following the ITZY's Wannabe. So stay tuned for that on Thursday, hopefully.